where you're like, a little weasel today?
Well, I don't know if it's a day, but I have the moments where mind drifts and I I invite my attention back to this moment here. And just, I'll follow my breath. And, it's like no big deal. Hey, come back here, and it's like the kindness of, if you have a child and, they're up to something or, wandering off, it's like, sweetheart, hey, let's come back
or
this way. It's almost
being a little rascal.
It's like how beautiful to extend and offer that graciousness to oneself, to ourselves. It's like no big deal. And, what I've noticed, the gift of being in my 40s is that life, starts to have a different level of inward flow. Simple things. This wasn't like something like, a big thing. I was like, gosh, I have to do this or I can never do this. It was just a happening. If I went on a plane before we'd go and if we were at the airport and I'd stop at a magazine store and I'd buy a bunch of magazines and be flipping through and seeing, who's doing what or who's wearing what or buying what or what the heck they were, or, things about their relationship individuals.
It's juicy.
And well, it was until it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. And then all of a sudden, life became more interesting here and now rather than what was more interesting over there or externally. And that wasn't something I consciously thought, but I was reflecting last night and I was like, gosh, I don't know when that happened or why that happened, but it's a result. It was I guess that is a result.
Yep.
The having that extend to, different level of mindfulness throughout my life. I just noticed myself making different decisions. It took, every morning I'd wake up and I'd check my phone and the news alerts when I was like, and it's like feeling all these things because I'm reading it and experiencing that. And so I took that off my phone. I turned the, whatever you call that thing, alerts off my phone. Yeah. I'm not on any social media whatsoever personally. And so it's given me the beautiful gift to have more time and space for myself. Yep. And I think like that's the most, is that self-love? I think that's a part of it.
Well, I do think it's a result of your practice of meditation. I feel myself, this gift that we have as human beings, that we're able to know that we're thinking and then to then realize like, wow, and then all these distractions are also coming in. How could I ever have room for the creativity that I want, whatever it is that you want to do with your life? If it's just this distraction from one distraction to the next, internally or externally, I know enough to know that's not how I'm going to go do great things, And so paring down the external distractions and then paring down the internal distractions. And that's, what? I made the same mistake. It's not paring down.
Yes, that's beautiful awareness. So you just caught yourself.
It's noticing. Yes. And then I think by noticing, it almost pares down.
Well, what you just did is exactly in my experience, mindfulness and meditation. You just caught yourself. That's what this beautiful life's about. It's catching yourself. I mean, Mary, I'm not the most athletic human being on the world.
True.
And, and you are. And so, you used to play soccer. And if you're to kick the ball into the goalpost.
What kind of ball?
If you're to kick it into the goal, I'm sure you didn't do that every time. And if you're at practice, you didn't do it every time. But then there's the times where you did.
Most times. I was kidding. With practice.
With practice.
Yep.
And I think gosh, we have such a huge expectation, or who am I say we have such a huge, I've had such a huge expectation. And, I dropped that and I dropped the notion of enlightenment, of awakening, because what life showed me was, gosh, that's in this moment. That's the only time that we can wake up is here now. You just did it. I'm just looking at you. We're here. This is this beautiful life. And for those of you that are listening right now, just take a look around. Take a look at your surroundings. Just see and what you've noticed maybe just the moment before. Feel your breath. You know, it's beautiful to be here now. And I think that is the greatest, most powerful, one of the most powerful, profound gifts of meditation is coming, not even coming to the moment, because we're always in the moment. It's noticing it.
I felt it even in just that moment. It's like it can happen in 10 seconds.
What did you feel?
Just
what did you experience?
Said, like, I can't explain it. Like if I'm really, like you said, focusing and I'm holding on to just like what's going to come next. It's control. It's certainty. I realize that's what Tony would say. It is your driving need for certainty. I know, which I know is just a nice way to say your need for control, your illusion of control, some semblance of control in this life that I have none of.
Yes.
And then to just get quiet. I feel my heart like take a breath in that. And also there's this uncertainty of what the next sound we might hear could be or the emptiness of that. And that helps me to say, wow, I have no idea what I'm going to hear next or what I might notice next with my eyes, or that I feel like, oh, how cool is that? And I feel the need for certainty relax, and I feel myself settle into, wow, there's so much I'm not in control of, and I can be okay with that. And I can enjoy it, not just be okay with it. I can actually really enjoy it. And to me, it's like we're just sitting here.
Yeah.
And I have to manage my mind of like, don't ask a stupid question. Add value, make sure that this is entertaining or that folks are getting things from this. And then in a moment, it's like, you know what? Let's just have a conversation. Let's just be real. We're just sitting here. People want authenticity. Take a breath. Yeah. You just feel like this little anchor to this moment.
But that's beautiful.
That's it. I meditated. I did it.
That's a beautiful thing. Your vulnerability and your honesty and sincerity. I think it's a really beautiful thing as human beings, you know, as we drop defense. You know, life is kinder that next breath. You know, we don't need to be a certain way. I think that's the gift of this human experience. We get to be where I'm uniquely me, you're uniquely you. Matt, hi. I love your beard. I love who you are, how you express yourself. We all animate and express life uniquely. I think that's just so beautiful and freaking phenomenal. The alignment of where we all meet, of this human experience, and then just the, you know, beauty of how we all express. That's cool.
It's cool.